Hello, my name is Armando Martinez and welcome to the Martinez podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the book called Man's Search for Meaning, which author is Viktor Frankl. So, firstly, who is Viktor Frankl and what is this book about? So, Viktor Frankl is a Holocaust survivor, a psychiatrist, and the inventor of logotherapy. Logotherapy is a therapeutic approach that helps people find meaning in life. And that is what the book Man's Search for Meaning is all about. The book Frankl shows us experiences and the psychiatric approach in order to find the meaning of life and happiness mostly, because happiness was mostly the purpose in life. So, firstly, I want to talk about how Franco approached this book. And I believe the way that he used it was through rhetoric. So, firstly, he used a lot of pathos and ethos. But firstly, did not use pathos in order to feel sorry for him, but he used it for hope. He wants the audience to learn the beauty of hope and implement it in their own life. We can see this mostly in page 65, where he stated, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." So we can see pathos is a way that he uses sentiment and vital circumstances in order for us to feel what really hope is all about, and that hope is our only way to find a purpose and meaning in life. Because if we don't have hope, what is life about? We don't have anything to live for. We don't get to see anything at the top of life. We just see ourselves in the same place everywhere. Also, pathos is used to show the disturbance of physical and emotional violence to the victims of the prisoners. We can see this as he wants us to learn what is violence and what is the terrible things that happened in World War II and to never be repeated again. He wants to show the world how peace and also sufferings can make a vital human person. Suffering can actually create improvement. We can see this where he stated, "The prisoner who had lost faith in the future, his future was doomed. With his loss of belief in the future, he also lost his spiritual hold. He let himself decline and became subject to mental and physical decay." He used pathos in here for us to see what really happened in World War II. People didn't really have a future. They didn't want to prosper in life. They didn't want to live anymore. They wanted to die, actually. And he also used ethos in order for us to believe him, which the ethos he mostly used is that he survived the Nazi World War II, which is not an easy thing to do. It's a very difficult thing to do, as we all know. So we have to give him merit and credibility because what he is saying is true. Secondly, I also wanted to talk about how he used the psychiatric approach to this book. So, firstly, he used words that many people don't know because many people haven't studied psychology. So, he used words like delusion of reprieve, depersonalization, existential vacuum, and much more, which are actually not words that we normally would know. But this has a very impactful message on the text, as it gives us how we everything we have is our brain. Yes, we have our physical body and we can suffer from our body, but mostly if we suffer on the brain is everything. We have to be good here in order to be successful and happy in life, not just in the physical aspect but in the mental state. We have to be philosophical and responsible of our own mind in order to prosper. Another way he uses word choices is by using syntax in order to show just different perspectives or normal things. For example, he stated, "At that moment, I became intensely conscious of the fact that no dream, no matter how horrible, could be as bad as the reality of the camp which surrounded us, and to which I was about to recall him." All of these things, philosophical terms, have a direct impact on the meaning of the text. Many societies, after suffering the torture, they think about physical aspects, but no, which is not actually wrong, but people don't include the emotional, psychological, and mental perspective. Franco teaches us the basics of psychology by sharing his experience and teachings us terms in order for us to understand the true sufferings which are all inside the human brain. He also sends us how literally people were better off being in a nightmare than in real life. Another thing that really had an impactful message on the book was its structure, which the structure consists of the first part of the book being all his stories and experiences in World War II, and the second part of the book being the psychological part of the book, which has a lot of pros and cons. For example, it can be organized, it has clarity, it's understood, and it is interesting because of the stories he tells us and how we go to the past in order to see that. But it also has some cons, such as the second part could get a little bit boring because of the psychological terms, and there are no chapters. So I decided to make a solution for this. Even though the book is amazing and it's probably one of the best books in the world, maybe maybe continue the story while sharing the psychological terms within each story is a better off, as people can understand what is happening, and also in the mental state, not after the story is told. So at the end, the book can make a conclusion on how to connect all the terms in order to have a successful and meaningful life. And about the chapters, I believe that having chapters are a way to make the reader locate himself in the book. Chapters make readers know how the exact topic of what they're reading, which sometimes in a book they can get a little bit lost. Such as if I stopped reading last week because if I couldn't read, well, maybe I would get lost. So maybe chapters can locate the readers on where they are. So lastly, the last thing I want to talk about is the impact of artistic elements that the author used to make the best book of the history. So firstly, he used a lot of themes. He's used a lot of things like happiness, progression up because of suffering, and apathy. We can see all this all across the book, which sends us critical message, which each theme sends us each message in order for us to make a better person. So he uses, for example, in happiness, he stated, everyone has his own specific vocation or mission in life. Everyone must carry out a concrete assignment that demands fulfillment. There, he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be repeated. So we can see that every theme meanings search for hope. The main message that Franco shares with the audience is hope, and how we need hope in order to reach a point in life where we can prosper and not just be stuck there no matter what we do. So hope is the last message that Franco gives us, even including because of apathy. He shows how prisoners had apathy. They didn't really care. They wanted to die. They didn't want to be there anymore, and that actually drained them down even more. Which having hope on little things such as the sunrise or the paintings or the literature or whichever material, maybe a drawing, has hope, and we can prosper with that, and we can use joy for that. So I want to say that each theme has a spark of hope for the reader. The author wants the reader to learn and put practice in his life. So we can see this book is not only a teaching of life and also how to see the things of World War II, but it is a mentoring book. A mentoring book. The author does not want us to feel sorry for him being a prisoner. No, he wants us to get a responsible life and to prosper in our own life and to have a meaning and to have a purpose and to be the best version of ourselves. So I believe this book is the best book I have ever read, and I recommend it to you a lot. I hope you read it, and in case you do, please send an opinion in the comments, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you very much. I'm Armando Martinez, and see you later. Bye.